Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Creators on the Crest. I'm Stephanie. Blazer the Morky has abandoned his post here. He's over there relaxing in another area right now. So we're going to let him do his thing. Today we're bringing you your December reading. So we're going to lay out that really cool Celtic cross today for you. We're going to close it off with an oracle card for the Scorpio collective. Keep in mind that these are general readings, so if it does not resonate, move along. You might want to check out your sun, moon, rising, or north node placements for additional context and texture, missing pieces to the puzzle. And also check out the description below if you're interested, because I have links to personal readings, donations, and also connecting on social media. I am currently running the occasional special on my Instagram stories. It's up for 24 hours and you got to catch it while it's there. So make sure you're subscribed at Creators on the Crest. You could join us here every other Sunday live from 7 to 8 p.m. Central. You can check out the replays that I have. We have a great little community that's been showing up and asking amazing questions, and we just power pack that hour with all kinds of fun. So happy birthday to our Sagittarians, wishing them the best and celebrating Saggies during the month here of December. Okay, Scorpio, let's get into your energies here. You're showing me that currently you are really having to be strong about something. I feel a resilience in your energy here. I feel that for some of you, it's about getting comfortable with your wild side, if that makes sense. Your wilder nature, your wild man or wild woman. You may feel called to like play in the dirt or the mud or just, howl at the moon or something. There's a time here where the energies are just really primal for you. Now, this energy is challenged by the Queen of Wands, which came in as a challenge, I think, for Pisces as well. And there's something that really lights you up and you have a grasp on it, okay? But for some reason, you're not able to put it out into the world yet. And maybe there's this side of you, this aspect of you, this wild man, wild woman that just needs some attention or needs to be more embodied before you make this next move. We'll see. For your needed focus area, the Four of Wands comes up. Now, in this deck, it's, again, let's get wild, let's celebrate, let's let loose, let's do some dancing, and not choreographed, something that we can just go and freeform dance and you just put on the music and have some fun, right? Get wild, embody that primal nature that you have. For some reason, you're really good right now at moving energy that way. So that could be something you really treat yourself to. Now, maybe it's just privately for yourself. I know, Scorpio, and you can be quite private sometimes, so you don't have to film this and post it on Instagram and all the places. You don't have to do a TikTok channel on this, right? This can just be for you, but really getting wild. And it might even be trying a new food or a new flavor or something, Think about what works for you. In the energies from the past, you're leaving behind the Justice card here. So this is a Libra energy. Some of you may have been dealing with a Libra in the past. This could represent someone that is deceased, that was a Libra, or that just was a very balancing energy in your life. For others of you, this could be an ending to a legal situation that has taken place. In the future energies, you get the Chariot, the Cancerian energies, really moving into some higher aspects of yourself. And I think it's through these cool primal energies that I'm picking up on. You're really going to be forward focused as soon as you get these embodied. Honestly, it's going to be looking really good for your movement going forward. Now, what's really interesting, there are a couple things that are really interesting in this reading, but you are Scorpio, so your place of empowered embodiment, that position is occupied by the Three of Swords, which is a card of heartbreak and pain. And since it's coming up in the place of empowerment, I really feel that this is about using your pain as a teacher and as an indicator to you. Again, the character is releasing, yelling, maybe a little bit of a rage yell there. And pain gets us going sometimes, Scorpio. And I think that's what's beginning to surface here in this reading, is that pain is really your biggest helper right now. So as not fun as it is to go through painful situations and processing and healing, this is your biggest teacher, your biggest mentor, your biggest place of empowerment, and your greatest growth tool at this time. In the area of support and allies, you get the Knight of Wands. This to me feels like you guys have a friend, like a goofy friend, someone maybe more aloof, like an Aquarius, somebody a little more, other people who don't really know him might call him flighty. But I feel like you have somebody around you who they get this fun, wild energy, okay? This may be a sister friend, a brother friend, whatever, just somebody like a soul sister, soul brother, somebody you've really like related to, or, just the way that they present themselves and the way they celebrate life really calls to you, and you're learning, you do a little bit of learning from them, but they're also very supportive of you. There's a wild horse in this picture. So for some of you, the horse may be a totem of importance. Some of you may just need to go horseback riding. Maybe that'll push your wild button enough, right? Also, horses are very, very healing. They know when we're going through stuff, and they will help. They will help and hold space for us while they carry us on the ride, right? And here in your environment, you have the King of Pentacles. Whew, okay. So as you're going through this very personal process and using pain as an indicator, there is someone or something probably in your home space. For some of you, it may be the workplace, but in your home space that really grounds you. What's pictured here is a wolf, so it could be an animal familiar. The King of Pentacles is so like calm, and he is so much in the energy of being abundance, that the energy that emanates from him is very calm. You could have an earth sign that is a very important friend or person in your life. This could represent a father figure or something like that has come in and given you a really nice feeling of, you can just be in their presence, right? And you could just be with them. Again, for some of you, this could be a pet that just has, I would say they have that energy though, more of like an old man energy. I kind of sense male energy here, right? With the king. So like a wise old wizard dog or something like that is what it feels like. And then in your hopes and fears, you have the Nine of Cups. Scorpio, it's really time for you to celebrate who you are and to put yourself out there, vulnerable as you. And I know you can be a private person, but when you shine your light, and you don't have to do it all at once, just take one thing at a time. You don't have to show your private wild dancing moments, right, on social media. But what is one way you can show up and be vulnerable? Even if it doesn't have to be on virtually, it can be in person. There are classes and different groups that get together and they do like ecstatic dance, or they just have like a jam session. And maybe that's something that might be really helpful for you here, because you're really working on opening your heart to the gifts of the universe here. And then in your potential outcome, you get the Death card, which is transformation, death and rebirth in this case, in this particular deck. So I love that, because it's like a return to the self. Through these energies that stretch and challenge you, you're returning to yourself. So I'm going to put a return to self here as our title. Now, I know that disappoints people, because people are wanting to know, what about the romance and what about the other person? And yes, they probably have a factor in all of this. Woo. So like half the deck popped out of my hands when I was talking about that. So I know I just triggered a few of you there. They might pop up. Let's give them a chance to show up. If you came into this reading thinking, oh, I want to hear about another person, I get it. But sometimes the things that are revealed about ourselves and our relationship to ourselves uncover our relationships to others and illuminate those relationships. So here in your current energies, you had the Strength card. You're finding yourself having to be strong. You've got the Four of Cups and the Sun. More Leo kind of energy. You may be dealing with a Leo here, Leo in your chart. Some of you may be Leo and Venus in Leo. Say it the right way, Venus in Leo here. You're being offered something here, Scorpio. You're being offered a very unique opportunity, and you're looking at it and you're sizing it up. You haven't quite reached out to take it. I think you're going to, because you do have the Sun here, and I feel like you're going to turn your face to the Sun and really take this offer. But it's kind of wild. It's kind of different. It kind of like pushes the adventure button, like I said. But this is you coming back around to yourself in a whole new way. And there is just some sort of self-love that will be experienced through these wild and primal energies here. This might be a wild return to self. Maybe that'll make it more intriguing because this is very primal, very wild. Like in the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight, and go on and on. Now that song will be in your head. Let's look at this Queen of Wands in your challenge. So you're grasping the wand and you're like, okay, I got this, but I can't quite move forward with it yet. And I would say to you, why not? Well, why not is because there's this wild side that you haven't embraced. And to clarify the Queen of Wands, you get another Queen of Wands. So what does that tell me, Scorpio? That tells me you're ready. You've got it. You've got the wand of fire. Do it. Create it. Be it. And you've got the Queen of Cups. Beautiful. You've got the love and the passion. This is heart-led. This is heart-led. And why would this be a challenge to you? The reason it would be a challenge is because it's big. It's overwhelming. It's vulnerable. It's raw. It's real. That is the energy you're up against right now. Okay? So really want you to think about that and how you're going to move that through your body and through your energies. I do not get that you are truly challenged with inaction because you have active cards here. I think there may be a little apprehension of the bigness of this and how wild it is. Maybe you just have some sort of idea and you're like, I have no idea how people are going to take this because it feels so wild and off the wall. But you just got to try it. I don't think you can resist trying it. In your needed focus, where you had the Four of Wands, really getting in the body, dancing, sensual, sexual energies, those are definitely, I feel like that came up in your last reading. It's coming up again here. You have the Lovers and the Nine of Cups. And yes, you need to be able to express yourself. For some of you, if you're in a healthy, committed relationship, you might talk to your wife or husband about spicing things up in the bedroom. And I'm sure they'll be happy I said that. And they might just get a little creative there. I'm not going to go too deep into your own private business there, but those energies being in your needed focus, that could bring that expression out of you, kind of like that being the Leo on stage and, but it's yet private, with you and your trusted, healthy partner. Beautiful things can be created, ignited, and moved with that kind of energy. Just saying. Okay, so in the past, remember I said this could be a legal thing wrapping up. This could be you bringing something into balance that needed to be brought into balance. You have the Ten of Cups and the Five of Swords. In the past, I feel that some of you have dealt with issues of being adequate, of being enough, of being seen positively in your fullness. And part of the energies that I do believe were suppressed for you were more of this, like these wild nature, this wild nature for some reason. You're the kind of kid who strikes me as like the parents were always telling you to calm down, take a chill pill, go have a timeout. You might have been one of those kids that was pretty darn wild and active and kind of carefree out in nature, just you'd be the one that comes back with like all the burrs in your hair and the mud. And, you got shut down a bit because of that. Some of you here. Others of you just were dealing with possibly a divorce or some sort of separation issue that affected your family, and that legal matter has come to an end there. So whatever the case be for you, it's good that we're leaving those energies in the past and that justice has kind of come full circle there. So, but there were times, you know, that it was kind of hard, for sure. For the Chariot, as you're moving into the future, this is clarified by the Seven of Swords and the Six of Cups. One of the things you won't be able to do anymore, Scorpio, is really BS yourself about who you are. You are reclaiming part of your innocence in this process. Some of you, if the female, like I'm thinking of the books like the Women Who Run with Wolves and the primal wild energies, right? The wild woman archetype. And then the same thing on the masculine side too, right? The books that would have the masculine and he's, you know, eating his meat and he's like just being very primal in his own regard, right? And being embodied. That has, you know, that has eluded you in the past, and in the inability to do that, and you've had to kind of put on a different mask at times and in certain situations where you really wanted to be yourself. And you really had a lot of innocence invested in this as a young person, as a young child. And I just feel like somebody took that away from you, made you feel small, made you feel lesser than, did not see your creative expression and your wild nature as something positive and tried to squash it. Maybe paint you into the good girl, good boy corner, right? No. That might have worked when you were a child, but now you're moving on from that. So in the area of your empowerment and embodiment where you have that Three of Swords and you're getting wild with it and you're getting, okay, I'm going to be wild and transformative with this pain. I'm going to let my pain body come out and I'm going to let Mother Earth like help me transform it, and the heavens are going to hear me scream here. You get the Six of Swords and the Seven of Wands. There's a lot of resistance that is going to be overcome by you going through this process. I won't mention any names. I have a friend who recently told me one of the exercises that they do is going into the woods and just releasing the voice, like making whatever kind of scream or wild animal sound. And I know that makes a lot of people uncomfortable. Heck, you can do it in your car with all the windows closed while you're driving on the highway if you want to, but I do recommend being in nature where you can just really get in that dirt and that primal energy. And that is very cathartic for releasing the pain, right? It's a very good idea. Some people I've seen, you know, you can do more aggressive type cardio exercises, and that may help you, like cardio kickboxing, axe throwing, these kind of things that move that wilder energy, right? So there are exercises that can get you in this energy as well and help you process there, because you're meant to work through this resistance, because you're coming into a place of empowerment as a result of this and embodiment. So you can't be resisting the passions that are coming to you and showing up, right? Now, we want to make sure those are healthy, right? We want to make sure that we're not, you know, engaging in any kind of unhealthy behavior, sure. But we want to make sure we're acknowledging the wilder sides of ourselves, because that is honestly what's going to bring peace to your pain. And it brings you into this back to yourself. And there's no reason with the dance and all of that. You can have a little fun with it. My goodness. Let's look at this goofy friend you have in your support and allies. You're kind of a goofball. I really love their energy though. It's really fun. You get the Emperor and the Four of Pentacles. When you're in this person's presence, you don't worry so much about how's everything going to work out. Do I need to do it this way exactly? Maybe I should save and withhold, you know, my energies or my passions. I got to do the smart thing here. I wouldn't want to do anything that, you know, would question the structure or my integrity. And this friend is just like, hey, get over here and play the drums with me. Get your glow sticks, get your hippie sticks, let's go. You know, this is that kind of energy for you. And it's really supporting you through some of these tendencies to respond out of the pain of your childhood when you were shut down and trying to impress people by doing what they wanted you to do instead of what you really wanted to do. And not only impress, but be accepted, right? For your differences, for your wildness. For the King of Pentacles in your environment, you get the High Priestess and the Four of Wands. Absolutely lovely energy. One aspect of your environment, if it's, for some of you, I feel like it's the home. It could be the workplace, or like if you work at a spa or something like that, it could be the space that you have set up. Very stable, very secure, very like wisely intended. I really like this energy. Again, some of you have a deep connection with like a pet or maybe a roommate that you live with. It's just, I almost get like the energy of like Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. Very wise, but also has that human touch. Also can laugh with you, can chill with you, right? Just a really beautiful energy. And this really helps you open up. This really helps you be more vulnerable, this person. So you've got a friend and then something in your environment or someone that's really helping you. And I love that. Okay, Scorpio, your reading got so wild that my memory card on my camera was full and I had to download and offload some other videos so that I could get back to your wild energy here. And for your hopes and dreams, and hopes and fears, I should say, you have the Six of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords to clarify that Nine of Cups. I really like the movement that I see in the more hopeful energies here. I don't think thinking about all of this or thinking too much about it is going to work for you. You may be still fearing how you will be interpreted or seen, but with these beautiful friend, this friend that's the goofy friend, and the loving home environment, and people here supporting you, and your potential outcome being you, there is no reason to take on the stressful energies of the Nine of Swords. In fact, I think the more you think about it, the more fearful you'll become. This is just following your whimsy and going for it. Now, even though you're taking me back around this wild return to yourself, to the Death and Rebirth card here, let's get some clarity on this potential outcome. It kind of speaks for itself, but let's go ahead and get it. You get the Three of Swords and the Moon. Yes, through the pain, the place of your power and embodiment, the Three of Swords that you got the other Three of Swords and the Moon. This is you coming full circle. And what's interesting about what's going to heal you is that the wilder it seems, or the more crazy the idea or inspiration, the better. Because all of this is coming out of the shadows to be transformed. And this is your path to it. Yes, it might pull you out of your comfort zone a little. Yes, it might push your adventure buttons, right? But it is what you need to evolve on your path here. So I say embrace it and go with it. Scorpio, let's get you a message card. These are cards that I wrote little inspirational or just different messages on one day. I just sat down and did it. And Scorpio, your closing message is the gravity of this situation is heavy. Yes, I get it. You stepping into these wilder energies, the things that seem like you could be judged or you're not sure how it's going to be received, but you just feel this calling of your own inner wild to do. I know that can feel really heavy to you. I know you're a private person and I get it. So we want to push the edges of the comfort zone a little bit so we can create a little lightness. Okay, I know you're very serious, and this is not a time for you to really be doubled down into that serious energy. That's only going to make things heavier and heavier. Your soul is saying, pain is your motivator. Pain is your expander here. And so there is just this turning of the cycle where the more you're able to embrace your wild and creative energies, the less the gravity will feel so heavy, and you'll be able to lighten up into these new wild energies, which you're reconnecting with, which are also going to transform your pain. So you've got this really interesting energy going on for the month of December. Scorpio, thank you so much for joining this reading. It was my pleasure to do it, and I can't wait to see you next time.